Okay, this transition is actually going to be 2 transitions, so double your money or double your value. I'm bad at math sometimes. I'm controlling both legs. I'm in the standard ashi. I'm going to look now, assuming that either I know that my opponent is flexible enough, good enough that my standard outside heel hook attacks aren't going to work, or I just want to move up the positional hierarchy to an intermediate position and then into our final position. I'm going to look to pass this leg over. So again, I've either gone for an attack and it's failed and I've regained the position, or I just want to initiate with a more robust attack. I'm going to drop back, allowing this foot to pop free. I really have to be careful that I'm maintaining good hip pressure, good wedging pressure behind the knee, and that I cover the foot so that he doesn't manage to extract, swing away in some fashion. So I'm allowing this to pop out and I'm covering the foot right away. From here, I'm going to look to pop my hip in. As I gain control of the end of the lever, pass it to this side, I can immediately attempt to attack the reverse heel hook, which would be our transition to our cross ashi, and finish from here. But, as mentioned earlier, people are going to generally have a much easier time of defending this position because of how much they can bring this leg into play. So what I'm going to look to do instead is, if I'm still controlling this, as I move to the cross ashi, I'm actually going to open this space up and just go all the way into the 411. It's way more controlled position. It is the position we want to be in. So ultimately, you want to try to get here. The cross ashi attack is more of an opportunistic one. Like I said, go for it. If it works, great. But prepare to actually make the full transition. So going from standard ashi to cross ashi, kicking this leg, trying to retain control of the ankle, and then moving all the way into the 411 is, I believe, your best bet here. All right, let's do a little bit of troubleshooting in this position. A couple things to keep in mind. Again, if I'm controlling the standard ashi and I've got both legs, it's going to drastically increase my effectiveness.
If we're here, can you still do it?
I can still do it. So again, this is actually what I want to address. If I'm in this position and you've gotten into base and I've decided that I want to keep attacking your legs. Again, we've talked about this before. Quick, easy option is always just a technical stand-up from here. As long as I'm controlling the lever to your hip, I'm going to win that battle every time. But if you're in base, but you're not on your hand, you're not threatening to come towards me, you're just kind of like, you're trying to figure out what's going to happen. You're savvy to the position, you're not overreacting. That will be a clue for me that I definitely don't want to attack the heel hook on this side. So I might now look to transition. A common error, especially if you're not controlling this far leg, common error here is to drive this giant hip motion in to transfer the leg to the other side. And now you can see what's happened. As I've bridged, I've lost all control of your hip and your knee. It's important when we're doing this transition that I keep my wedge mechanic and I keep the immobilization of your hip going, and that I allow as little of a motion as possible so that I'm not relieving the control with my lower body. I hip in slightly and I control the end of the lever as I transition to covering the ball of your foot if I am indeed going to dig right here. So you notice I didn't loosen up at any point.
No.
I didn't make a giant bridge. I don't need to. I have the end of the lever, so I'm here. I decide I'm going to switch. I allow this to open up. I control the end of the lever. I can keep my elbow underneath. I can bend your foot in a couple of directions. You see, as I go like this, it's automatically weakened you.
It's weaker.
Exactly. If you keep your leg strong here, if I'm trying to push across like this, it doesn't work. But as I rotate, so I'm using my chest as a backstop against your heel, and I'm rotating the bunion, and I'm able to, again, this rotational stuff, guys, it's not invisible jiu-jitsu. It's visible physics. Keep your heel, keep the end of the lever, external rotation of the hip, breaks the structure of the leg, allows me to transfer this across without creating any giant motions. If you start to come in here, I can grab this leg, but then I'm still faced with the problem of not having a closed circuit. So I'm not going to be able to attack as reliably here. Anytime this happens, I'm going to grip the inside of the calf, or I'm going to grip the top of the knee, and I'm going to extend this away, clamping my triceps down on the ankle bone here, and inserting my foot, hooking, pulling back to the 411, and then I can attack reliably against a good opponent.
I'm Stefan Kesting, and this is, without a doubt, the single best resource or instruction on leg locks that I have ever seen. It has the underlying concepts that make the techniques so much more powerful when you understand them, but it also has entries. It has entries from standing, from kneeling, from the bottom, from the top, from everywhere. The finishes and how to tweak them with little tiny adjustments that make the submissions way more powerful. It has the control positions and how to hold them against somebody who's fighting like mad to get out. It has a training method so you can safely drill this with a partner. It has the transitions and combinations to go from one position to the next on your turn, not your opponent's turn. The defenses, the counters, and the escapes to leg locks so that you can get out when somebody attacks you with them. Rob Bernacki, with a little help from me and a little help from his senior leg locking student, has done an amazing job putting this together for you.